let's look at 4 first-year players here really fast. We had spent probably about 10 minutes going through staying low in our first step drill. We go through a series of drills that's called base, outhouse, eyeball, and then 6-shooter, draw your 6-shooter, and then fire off. And so we did that for about 10 minutes. But what I want to talk about is that we wanted to then begin to kind of try to implement that, which is really good stances, flat backs, and see if we can get the fundamentals of what we were drilling on. So again, these are 4 first-year players, and so the first thing I want to look at right now is their backs. And basically we have these 2 individuals are playing defense, and these 2 individuals are playing offense. We're working on offensive drills today. So that's kind of who we want to look at, again, because we did spend some time drilling. First thing we want to look at is this stance before we move this video forward. Right here, if I go from just above the ear hole to the hip and then down, straight down, as straight as I can kind of get that, eyeballing it, you know, that's about 113 degree angle there. I know we can't get a perfect 90 degree angle, a perfectly flat back, but we try to do that as much as possible. And so if we analyze, you know, in this case I believe that's Cooper, probably not as flat as he should be. Now let's see if we can analyze, I believe that is Camden. And Camden's also at about 115 degree angle there, so you know we need to do just a little bit of work on that. But let's go ahead and undo that, and let's kind of start rolling this forward so that we can kind of see if these gentlemen implemented at all kind of what we had worked on the drill on. Okay, so what we want to see, obviously from sorry about that, I went too far back. So what we want to see out of these 2, okay, is we want to see staying low. We want to see this step right here move about 6 to 8 inches forward, and then this step can then follow as they stay low and fire out this direction and engage their man. Okay. So as we roll that forward, let's really try to keep an eye on the footwork of both of our offensive linemen in this case. And as we go forward, really no steps forward hardly at all. Also, they didn't stay low. They basically just kind of stood up. And you know, if we do this again, that's that whole patty cake thing. And in this case, you know, as we look at it, they both got blown off the ball, and I believe that, you know, in this case they're similarly matched as far as their weights go. So it's not like I've got, you know, one kid that has a 20 or 30 pound weight advantage over another one, and we can just see that those defensive players came out of their stance, got underneath both of the offensive players, and just pushed them back. And in this drill, I just asked the defensive kids to not necessarily try to shoot a gap, but to just kind of do just an old-fashioned bull rush, and let's, you know, test to see if our offensive guys can fire out and stay low, and if they can get across the line of scrimmage faster than the defensive players. And in this case, you know, like I say, we didn't really step forward, we didn't engage them, we didn't stay low, and consequently they both got pushed really far off the ball. So we need to work on this. We've got to work on this, and I'm not picking on these boys. I will be analyzing some of the other boys, including, you know, some of the kids that this is their second year playing. So, but definitely it's stuff that we should be learning from, so that we can practice at home, and especially on this stuff right here. These angles right here, especially when we're lined up. This is stuff that parents can help them out at home. You guys can be looking at that, try to get them as flat as possible. You know, rear end out over their heels, far out over the heels, flat back before they reach out with their hand to get a flat back. And we'll look at some examples of some boys in some of these other blocking videos, so that I can also do angles on their backs, and we can look how well they're doing.